Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing, spectacular, marvelous. You know how many adjectives I like to use when it comes to this type of stuff. Welcome to another Sunday, and more specifically, the Cafe Gracia experience. Yes, we are back as usual at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, the best kind of standard, here with amazing guests from voice actors to artists, all that kind of stuff. You know how we like to do it here. And today's guest in particular is a returning one, and you know how I like to do these kind of stuff as well. Esteemed guest of the week, the floor is all yours.
Well then, hello there everybody! I hope my sensitivity in the input's okay, but it's okay, it's all good. It's a sunny day out here for me. A little too hot, but it is what it is. I better introduce myself because you're not actually here with me, so you can't tell what the weather is. My name is MagicMaddie, and I'm here with the big boss, Gracia, on the Cafe Podcast, as I like to call it, because, I don't know, it just makes me feel comfy to say, I don't know, the Cafe Podcast, because just gotta ring to it. I cannot talk, but it's okay. I can talk with a good buddy. So yeah, it's all that matters.
That's all that really matters. Hopefully soon I start doing face cam, because a lot of people want face cam for the podcasts, and I'm like, soon, just let me buy a face cam, or let me just figure out how to install.
Oh, same.
And then okay, we'll figure it out, because I feel like a lot of people, most of the people that I have on the podcast, most of the time I feel like I don't feel like they're comfortable with a face cam, so that's why I don't do face cam as much. But hopefully we'll be in a room together and just kind of have like a talk show type of thing, and then but that's for
that would be interesting.
2 or 3 years from now. Yeah, that's an idea I have for the podcast. But
well, the thing is, you have to go at your own pace with content creation. Like, if I may, you have a perfectly fine voice that can really carry a podcast. And a podcast is different from a talk show in that you can just turn off your screen and go. I mean, it'd be one thing if it were a YouTube video where you sit down and what have you, but I mean, to be fair, as far as I'm aware anyways, this is just a podcast that just happens to be on YouTube. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I totally understand. I'm sure you have an angelic face, and I'm sure a face cam would make something kind of fun, like add expression and whatnot, but it's something that's required. That being said, just take it at your own pace. There's pros and cons to a face cam, and you can't go wrong either way. I don't know. That's just my very optimistic perspective.
An angelic face. I'm like, wait a second, do you not see the videos? What do you mean? Wait, hold on. I show my face all the time. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm sure you have. What do you mean?
I guess I meant for the podcast.
Yeah,
I think I meant for the podcast.
Whatever, it's fine. It's like, damn, okay, I see.
I know there was
I see how it is. I thought you watched content. All right, well.
No. Unfortunately,
Fake friends, huh?
I'm able to get a few videos in. Like, I know a while ago I did watch. What was it? It was your Bayonetta 3 video that brought up a lot of good points. I won't get into that because I'm sure, because I'm going to have people out there go watch it themselves. Link your video in the description.
I'll probably do that. Or a card will pop up. I'll have to write down when exactly this was said. But, Bayonetta 3. Yeah, but I did another Bayonetta video, which was a collaboration. So I hope you're talking about that one, because that's the more recent one. If you're talking, because the last time I did a Bayonetta video, and I'm gonna expose you right here. It's time for exposure.
I was what was it? It was a while ago, I think it was. Shoot, I'm sorry.
A month ago.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, to be fair, I used to be a huge fan of Markiplier, and then bam, drop him on the fly. Scott the Boss, bam, drop because life has to freaking suck sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be like that. No, it really does. It really be like that. Sometimes with Scott, I used to watch a ton of Markiplier back in the day. And I'm talking peak, when it was peak YouTube. It's 2013 to 2015. I would binge watch his videos. Now it's I like Scott the Woz. I watch a lot of Scott, but it's basically a bunch of Some Call Me Johnny, Ant Dude, Scott the Woz, a bunch of other video game youth content creators that does news and things like that, and then a bunch of small content creators that just so happen to appear on the algorithm itself. I'm like, oh, let me check it out, and then I do a quick comment. I'm like, oh, honestly, this was pretty cool.
honestly good for you for actually being able to look out for both the bigger creators and the smaller creators, because the YouTube family's got to stick together. Gosh darn it, especially when it's like growing and YouTube is sometimes there, sometimes not there. You guys got to stick together. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, like there are times where I'm like, screw you algorithm, but most of the time when it's like I see a small YouTuber, I'm like, oh, this is cool, because like there are a bunch of people that do amazing content, and they deserve a lot of recognition, not just for someone, and I think we're way past the minute mark, but not just someone that's just shaking their ass for 2 minutes and they suddenly get a million views. I'm like, that's not. What is that? Come on, like, really, like, damn, that shit shows how horny you all are, first of all, and second of all,
I'm bad
like,
today.
Yeah, exactly, and second of all, it's like there's no creativity. Like, YouTube was a platform for memes and for creativity, and seeing how there's been a lack of that recently, it's just like it's a pain in the ass, because it's like, how, like, come on, really, like, you're there for 5 seconds and like all this, and then like I'm here actually like trying to have fun and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this time and time again, because it's just so recurring. It just has to be expressed, because like
it has to.
Yeah, it just has to. But whatever, it is what it is.
Twitch is no better sometimes.
You
may have heard of controversy where they had like a literal category for beaches and hot tubs, and it's like,
as soon as
all better be smart about this.
We gotta talk about that one for a quick minute, because there's been a lot of, because first of all, I'm a person who was very chill when it comes to that stuff. Sometimes we all do be down bad. it's normal to be down.
Yeah.
It is normal. Just try to keep it in moderation. But the fact that you're doing it on a platform where the minimum age is 13, we have a problem here. We have a problem here, and you can't just and that's also the thing that I have with these hot tub like streamers as well, is that they exploit it. They know that 13-year-old Jimmy is watching their content, and they know that they're gonna do like some of like, but I'm trying to say this the most fairest way possible, because if you say something bad like this to a degree, people are gonna be like, "Are you just being a sexist?" No, man, I'm just trying to set this record straight. And
I get it.
Exactly. And it just sucks to see that also, like, there's tons of hardworking people on Twitch as well, but then the moment you show titties, it's like, damn, that it explodes. And Twitch exploits that as well. Like, they also know that that's where they're getting the big money from ass and tits. I
think that is my one gripe.
Yeah,
because
you continue.
Well, go ahead. Well, you go ahead, because
No.
I was thinking because I remember there was a tweet where somebody expressed they were like playing like, I think, Undertale or something, I forget. If I could link it I would, but there was somebody in their chat that was like, "Why don't you have a face cam? This is so boring. We want to see you." And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't feel comfortable seeing having a face cam, because for one, I don't have the equipment. Also, I just like talking, and that's all. It's fine. Like, I don't feel comfortable exploiting my face on a platform where anything goes. I don't know. That was a little hard to explain, to like say verbatim, but
I get what it means. And there's a lot of hardworking female streamers that don't use that as well. And I remember watching a quick 2-minute video on Twitter, where a female streamer was literally talking like trash against them, and she made good points. She's like, "I'm here working my ass off. I'm here trying to be as modest as I can be, because I'm here. People are here to watch my content and my character, not simply because I have like this body proportions, and it just pisses me off, like, sometimes that there's people like," and she just went off, and I was like, damn, that makes so much sense. But
exactly. When it leaks into other content creation, then it just becomes a lot more, I don't know, then it just makes other people feel like really unmotivated. I don't know. There were some times when the category first popped up, I was like, Oh boy, I honestly didn't feel like streaming that day, if I remember correctly. Like,
Damn.
I think it was around the time I was still in my university, and I'm just like, I could stream today, but you know what I'm gonna do? Well, assuming it wasn't when I was still in university in my freshman year, I'm just gonna go get Starbucks, take my time, see where life takes me, as long as it doesn't take me back towards Twitch just for today, because I'm not happy.
Yeah. No,
I'm not happy.
I remember I started doing. I remember I used to do Twitch, and I have like affiliate on that already. I have like I have that status, but I just gave up not trying to do Twitch anymore. And I'm like, if I do plan to stream, it's YouTube, because first of all, I already have an audience on YouTube, so it's easier to grow there if I ever want to do streaming. And second, if people are gonna exploit what we said time and time again, I'm also go to a platform where at least they have a little bit more restrictions on that, and I would just feel more comfortable doing it with them. Even though YouTube does have its fair share of stupid like decision making, but at least compared to Twitch, I don't have to worry about a hot tub category. I don't have to worry about the exploitation. I can't even English today. The exploitation and all that
It's
kind
okay.
of stuff. But it is.
Well, first of all, I don't think many of us can English on the right days. Not many of us can
today's
English
Wednesday,
well.
right?
Not even me.
Yeah, no, today's
Yeah,
Wednesday.
today's a Wednesday. It's no English day.
Yeah, no English day. No,
It's a no English day.
It's a no English day.
Exactly. And second of all, I guess you pretty much said it best. Like, it's one thing to, it's one thing where YouTube doesn't necessarily have it all bunched up together and what have you, or like, I can't say YouTube is perfect, but it does have some, like, a kind of system where it doesn't take advantage of that very, very risque content. And that way, like, you can moderate, like, those who might be like, oh, you should be like this girl who's in a hot tub, saying slightly provocative things and stuff. I don't know.
And then, like, slowly going down to explicitly show that area, even though, like, you think they're not doing it on purpose, but they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
It's really disheartening, but granted, as a prominent Twitch streamer, well, relatively prominent, that it's more. I use Twitch more than YouTube, unfortunately. I just have to make the best of it. Like, not everybody is going to be interested in what I do because I'm not because I don't stream that content and I don't feel comfortable streaming that content. And you know what? That's okay. I shouldn't have to stream that kind of content. Yeah, not everybody's gonna like it, but you know what? Some people are, and I'm gonna stick out for them. That's my optimistic approach, anyways.
Yeah, and that's a good one, because that's how I feel too as well. And I guess to kind of like put a stamp on this for now. That's how I do things with my channel on YouTube as well. Like, I know a lot of people have talked about the same thing. I know a lot of people have expressed the same feelings. But what makes it different is that, first of all, I utilize the skits to its maximum potential now. Like, the skits that I make in the beginning and the end are basically the reason why I want people to watch more of my content, because there's a lore, there's characters that you see in different videos, and also, like, as I started to see more of, like, the first collaboration video that I saw, like, I just want my channel is just to have fun and to let people who are also content creators, whether big or small, to be a part of it, and we just have fun. Like, we just mess around and we just have fun. And that's just the best mentality that I think anyone deserves to have when they start out YouTube or Twitch or anything. Like, just have fun. Just do it. Just do it,
Absolutely.
Don't plan it out. Just see how it goes, and then if it works, then you just then you start planning things out. Then you start figuring out more or less what equipment you need and things like that. But if you just start, that's all that really matters.
Absolutely. There's not a certain different formula to how you go about things, but as long as you make it fun. But yeah, you put your stamp on it, so with the Gracia stamp, I'd say we call that topic good.
It is officially sealed, and I don't know how. I don't know.
Done.
Speaking of just starting out, the last time you were here, we were talking about One Piece. So did you start One Piece? It's One Piece Day in Japan right
I
now.
watched the first episode.
Alright.
The first episode. I remember specifically watching it the night I was supposed to move out of the dorm, of my freshman dorm, and I had a great time with it. It was just a fun little start, kind of funny. Looked up a few memes, and then next thing you know, work happened.
Yeah. No, yeah, you gotta commit. Like I said last time, you gotta commit.
I gotta
One
commit.
Piece.
No kidding, for sure, because it was really fun episode. It was like you just got to know Luffy, son of a gun.
Luffy.
I watched the sub.
Yeah, that's
Luffy. Yeah, Luffy. I sound like one of those girls who's like, wow, I love the part where Sailor Moon collects the 7 Dragon-eyed Dragon Balls. Wowie, but really, I at least I'm honest that I unfortunately could only had time for the first episode, but even then, at least
Whoa, you got cut off there for a second.
I finished the rest of it,
There you
because
go.
I watched like the first episodes of a few anime I wanted to commit to, and then I was like, it's cool, but One Piece just seems iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I know some people who, kind of like I still do, kind of have like an on motif. Some people have like a One Piece motif. Like, some content creators I know really enjoy One Piece, and it's like, yeah, I can, even behind that one episode, I think I can see some of the hype, and I'm sure I can see even more of it if I actually commit to it.
Yeah, it's like that's what I said. Like, One Piece, once you start, it is an experience. It's not you have to like commit to it, and you just have to. One Piece is the anime that by the moment you see the first episode, you'll know whether or not you're gonna continue watching, because if you don't feel like you want to be part of the adventure, then that's perfectly fine. Then, just by episode 5, then that's it. But if you really want to be a part of Luffy's like adventure, like you feel it. Like, you feel it. That's why I love One Piece. Like, no other anime makes you feel like you're part of the journey compared to any other anime.
Yeah, because I guess I took it a little too, like, casually, like, it's just some goofy little thing, but no. At the same time, you had gone to incredible, awesome lengths about how badass Luffy is, and it's like, why the hell did I drop off and then just be like, okay, now I'll watch it a month later, and then next it's like, yeah, because our podcast episode came out, like, a month after... I forget. My brain is fogged up.
Like,
my left arm was badly bruised today.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I know is that I'm gonna get back to One Piece.
Yeah.
Just you guys wait.
Ours...
Like, I'm gonna stream tonight, and yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
Just gonna.
It's been 3 months since you were part of the. It's been 3 months since you were last here. So that's a long time.
July.
Yeah.
July, June, May. So yeah, a month after I finally watched One Piece. Because finals have to be such a little female dog.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't say the
like
actual
that.
word.
We were talking about ass and titties minutes ago. You can't even say that word, Maddie. Really? Like.
Oh yeah.
It's like, ass and titties.
But you know what?
But saying the same bitch. Oh, that's where we're gonna draw the line there. No, we can't step there. But you sound like Twitch right now.
It's one character from an anime that I can relate to at this point. It's Usagi Tsukino. And if you know Sailor Moon, if you've actually seen the anime, you know she's an absolute klutz who just draws the lines at certain things, is a scaredy cat, and she's a crybaby. I cried when I bruised my left arm, or actually left hand today. It was bad. But anyways...
Like that.
So yeah, if there's one character I can relate to, it is Usagi Tsukino. Sailor Moon. Sailor Venus might be my favorite, but I salute you, protagonist.
Look,
anyways.
Sometimes when we give credit to anime, we give them credit. Like, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm pretty sure I said to some point in like Twitter or whatever, but the moment I started watching Food Wars was the moment I was like, yeah, I should learn how to cook. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't Gordon Ramsay. It wasn't any other like actual professional chef. It was literally just a bunch of teenagers in an anime cooking, and I'm like, oh, I should learn how to cook.
Honestly, to be fair, there was some of the casual like anime casual fans at my high school were like, wow, Yuri on Ice is amazing. Let's all go ice skating after this. And I'm like, and I watched an episode of it. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of cool. Well, actually, then I kept watching and watching, and then apparently I stopped right before the last episode where apparently, spoilers, they end up a couple or something.
Yeah,
and it's like, wow, this is like,
I don't know.
this is like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I don't.
This is like Dirty Dancing, but for ice skating. This is all cool and beautiful. I'm gonna go ice skating too. And so we go to this ice rink that my friend from my hometown, had a whole team for, was coaching them for, and yada yada. And so I go there and I sucked at ice skating. Let me just put it that way. And then I try to go with no skates at all, just walking around, waddling, and of course I trip even more. So then I finally put on the skates, and it hurts, and I'm like, hi there, we'll call her Barbara with a C. Hi there, Barbara with a C. I'm totally not in need of help. Look at me, I'm wonderful, just waddling like a penguin. Okay, I need help.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Food Wars, totally understandable.
Yeah. Food Wars and also Haikyuu. Haikyuu, I was like, I should try out more volleyball. Like, I enjoy volleyball, and it was fun. Yeah, I love Haikyuu. Haikyuu is my first and only sports anime. I don't think I could watch any other sport. Actually, no. I want to watch The Prince of Tennis because I started playing tennis like months ago, but it started raining like hell around here, so we stopped a little bit. But I want to go back, and I was like, I should watch Prince of Tennis.
I know for sure. The two sports anime that I really want to watch. Honk honk to whoever's out there. Sorry, car noise. I know there's two anime that I want to watch that were related to sports that are free, and obviously Haikyuu, because I hear so many interesting things about both of them. Haikyuu is actually a lot more about supposedly teamwork and the compromise between teamwork and yourself. If I got that right, anyways. And then free is hot guys, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Same thing, but with swimming. And I used to be a part of the swim team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like I said, some animes just make you want to be... They make you want to feel something or try something new. And that's the beauty. Especially now where we're at an age where there's a lot of there's MCU, there's Marvel being mainstream now after so many years. And things like that, but
yeah,
anime is just it doesn't. There's something unique about anime that it just doesn't pander to anybody. It just does what it wants, and you still enjoy it, because it's not just about is it about representation? Is it about this? Is it about that? As the Western mindset tends to have nowadays. It's more so of how can we create amazing characters, unique concepts, and just set piece that people enjoy. And then down the line, and that's just what I love a lot about anime. It's just that uniqueness to it.
Oh, for sure, because there's a lot of don't get me wrong. Maybe I am part of.
You got cut off. Wait a second.
At least it some people to introduce some people to the world of general fantasy magic done in a very different style. Yeah, there's some fan service, and yeah, maybe the body proportions are crazy and stuff, because at least Luffy has the excuse of taking some bubblegum thing, and that's what makes him stretchy.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point back to Fairy Tail is that at least it brings in the world of magic in some unique sense to a lot of people. I'm personally not a fan of Fairy Tail. I think it's fine, just not up my alley. But there are some others who like it, and you know what? Honestly, better than liking Twilight or every single young adult book that's come out in America.
For real. It's just the Western mindset that we have is just we're too cringe. We don't we have cool concepts, but we just don't.
Unfortunately, some people are "Ooh, it's all just." I'll say it. It's all ass and titties. It's all hot guys getting the girl. It's no. And for one, if it's all hot guy getting the girl, Superman, Batman, I don't know.
It's just that. Going with the example of Twilight.
Hello? I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we've been having some technical difficulties in this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, but we're pulling through. We are pulling through. But what was I gonna say?
I'm sorry. Did you say anything during that?
No, I didn't say anything.
Did you say? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My apologies.
What was I?
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's fine. What I was going to say was, you know, if you were to make Twilight into an anime, it works. The concepts are amazing. Like, let's be real here. Like, Twilight is a good concept if it was done right, but it wasn't done right. It just
exactly.
So that's what we have to, you know, figure out and soon, because manga and anime is taking over the West here. Like, everybody knows more or less one or two animes now, and it's pretty common. Everybody here, like, oh yeah, anime this, anime that. Like, that's how much of an influence it has gotten over the years, to the point where, you know, we're more hyped to see an anime on the big screen than an Avengers movie.
Yeah, which is the unfortunate. Well, actually, no, it's not.
It's not unfortunate. Who am I kidding? It's not unfortunate. Exactly.
Anime.
After all the times of them calling us cringe, and then they literally sit next to us and be like, "Yo, dude, I'm the biggest fan of Dragon Ball." I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. You weren't with me when we were playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because it's one thing to get into something new and like be a newcomer entirely when it's on the craze, when it's really on the rise. I'm sorry, but it's another thing to have made fun of it before, vehemently, I think that's the word, and then come back later like, oh, I so am in love with the way that Sailor Moon goes get the blue eyes white Dragon Balls from Luffy, who's totally not a protagonist. Anime.
Yeah.
And whatever the comics are.
Yeah, I don't.
Who cares about the comics?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I am all down with newcomers. I love the fact that people are going into new stuff. I like how people are going, and this is kind of like the segueing into like the big topic that really, really does not do a good job in regards to welcoming new people to certain games.
Oh yes.
And yeah, and so, you know, there are people that they will experience a later, you know, a rendition of, you know, a long time series. I'm sure plenty of people their first time exposed to Dragon Ball, you know, either Dragon Ball Z back in the day or, you know, Super, which is totally fine. Mm-hmm. You know, you at least know who Goku and Vegeta are and things like that. Like, you're perfectly fine with that. But if you have the audacity, the balls to say that, oh, this is clearly like, you just somehow be this massive bandwagon fan, I'm like, nah, sit down. We gotta talk, because clearly I appreciate that you're enjoying the franchise. I appreciate you're enjoying the series, but it doesn't revolve around you. There are other stuff that are also a part of the series that you should definitely enjoy. And because you enjoyed this one, we highly recommend them. But it just sucks to see how, like, entitled some people can get simply because they really enjoyed one aspect of the entire franchise.
Exactly, because there is like that fine line between bandwagon and being casual without meaning any harm. Though you do have that right, like go into it and don't be afraid to try out other things. So there's that fine line, and then there's also the fine line between suggesting and cutting out toxic people, and then being the toxic gatekeeper yourself. Speaking of which, you want to just the big elephant in the room? Ow, my arm!
The big elephant in the room is the arm, ladies and gentlemen. That is the arm. No, but it's just that one of my biggest gripes with the Persona fandom. Because it's not SMT. There's no way it's SMT, and we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. That the SMT fans are literally just like, yeah, sure, go ahead. They're fucking hard, but go ahead. You know, by all means, be one of us. Like, they're very chill. I've never seen anyone really get mad about SMT unless someone compares it to Persona. And this is coming from someone who has only played 5 and Royal and knows at least most of the story plot elements of 3 and 4. You know, like I at least have decent knowledge of Persona, but in terms of gameplay and things like that, I can't really compare much about them because I haven't played the game. I haven't played the previous games. But I appreciate that there are people that are like, oh, try out 3 and 4. I'm like, yeah, I want to try out 3 and 4. I want to try it out.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm down to try it out. I already know what happens at the end. I already know all the key plot elements, but I'd be down to play it. It's a video, like, I want to play it. It's an RPG game. I love RPG games. About. Exactly. But, like, and I think it's because of Persona 5, and sadly, this might happen with Persona 6 if they release it, if it's one of the 7 projects that Atlas has in store for us, which I'm sure it is. I think it's time that they stop.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, exactly. But it just sucks that, you know, there's gonna be people that will be like, oh, Persona 6 is like this ultimate being, and there's like all of this is what it should have been. I'm like, dude, the reason why Persona 6 is like that is because it had predecessors. It's like it's not a one size fits all scenario here. And I also exactly, and I also don't like the whole, how should I put it? Like, I know, like, for the Persona 5 fandom in particular, because it's always them at the end. It's always them, and not all of them, but the majority of them that tend to make the noise. It's like, it's not everything's about Persona 5, man. Like, if it's for a joke, no. I get it. I get the joke and all that stuff, but you know, like, you can't determine that at this point, where it's like, man, I don't want to listen about Persona 5 for a long time now. Like, I don't want to, like, I love the games, I really do, but there was like a certain point where I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Stop.
I can understand that, because, like, it's one thing to enjoy a game, but it's also okay to expand your horizons. Like, there's nothing wrong with like, just dropping Persona 5 for a second in this case and moving on to Persona 4. You can always come back to the 5th game, or technically 6 if you count the Persona 2 duology, but it's also okay to try out the other ones. If you're a cup of tea, if you like them better than 5, that's fantastic. If you don't, that's okay. At least you have them under your belt. At least you would try to understand them, and that's good. That's fine. You can always, like, maybe try to get a different perspective and see, like, okay, well, I might not like it, but why do others like it, instead of just bashing it constantly. But, you know, it's okay. At least you tried it, and it's not, like, the perfect way to end. Like, just be like, okay, tried it, don't care, and have a good day. That's not the case, but it is a good start. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Because
also,
yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Because I was thinking, because yeah, there's that hand, and then on the other hand, yeah, I will admit that there are. While you have to admit that Persona 5 fans definitely shouldn't be scared of trying other things and not constantly comparing them to the thing they love. There also are some gatekeepers, and yeah, because yeah, like, on one hand, they do have good intentions, like trying to get other people to play their games. But you do kind of feel bad when others who feel the same way but aren't as consistently like, play a real Shin Megami Tensei game, are like, why won't anybody play Persona 2? Because unfortunately there are those bad apples that are like, oh, play this because Persona 5 is trash, and it's like, well, you don't have to like Persona 5, but if you want somebody to try your Persona 2, don't bash on them and be like, oh, you're not a true Persona fan for liking this. Because if anything, it deters people. And then again, you gotta admit that, like, you can't let gatekeepers destroy your perspective and fun for that either. There's, like, a lot of things going in on there, because, yeah, gatekeepers suck, but they don't have to stop you, per se. They might discourage you from talking about it, but you know what? You block them out. It's okay. Like, they don't control you unless you give them that power. You know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're all video games.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just play them because, you know, for fun and things like that. Like, you don't, like, you could, how should I put it? Because I was going to say, oh, you shouldn't dedicate yourself to video games, but then we make video game content for a reason. But, what I mean is that just don't make it as if you have, like, how should I put it? Just touch grass There's just
That's okay. That's valid.
just touch grass.
I don't know, because like, yeah, like once in a while, take a break. Like in the best way, go touch grass. It's okay. Like just have a little fun, just breathe. Then you can come back and enjoy your games and your social media. Once in a blue moon, just expand your horizons, because it's not that. I mean, don't think of it as in like you need to do this, otherwise you're incel or anything. Just think of it as like expanding your horizons, nothing more. Like, don't beat yourself up, because gatekeepers already do that to anybody who deems you as too noobish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's all in all, I like I've said, and I've said it plenty of times, I love Persona 5. I love Persona 5 Royal. If it weren't for Persona 5, I wouldn't, like, every single time, like, if it weren't for Persona 5, I would not be doing the things that I'm doing today. Like, I love the games, I love that, but it's just that, and this goes with any fandom. With any fandom out there, it's just, you know, there is reasonable gatekeeping. There is a reason to not let people want to play something, because maybe it isn't as great as the original, or maybe you just, I don't know, you just, like, there are reasons as to why people do that, and some are good reasons, but if you just want to be a dick about it, then it's like, well, then this is the reason why people don't like fandoms to begin with, because it's almost as if you're intentionally making this division and then creating these factions, and it's like, well, I understand that you want opinions, and opinions are you know, they're just opinions. They don't have to be facts, but simply because you presented it as a fact, it's like, well, damn, like, well, what do you want me to do now?
Yeah, because there is a lot of, because everyone's like, oh, just be nice to each other. It's common sense. Well, yeah, but not to many, but not to some people. It's not always common sense to treat everything as an opinion rather than a fact. There's a lot of things to it, because like it might be the tone of somebody's voice, it might be the way they type things out, it might be the way they don't read the room or do read the room, or are too nice or too mean. There's a lot of things that go into a certain fandom, and that's kind of the bitch behind it all, is that, for lack of a better word, is that there are a lot of different personalities that we all can't understand to the fullest extent. Like, because I don't know how to put it, but I guess we all come from different backgrounds, of course, no shit, but at the same time, we have to realize that, damn it, I lost my train of thought, but, like, not everything's gonna be common sense, you know? And so...
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, there are different perspectives, and don't be afraid to broaden your horizons. Again, I'm gonna say that a lot, and just reach out to different people, like, try to get some perspective. You don't even have to agree with them. You can always, like, agree to disagree. But just try to listen, hear them out, think about what they said, and just make your own judgments from there. Provided that you're not gatekeeping, but also not being too casual. I don't know. Like I said, there's a whole load of fine lines, a whole load of perspectives within a single fandom. In this case, the Persona fandom definitely has, like, their very, very hot takes, but you just don't be afraid to listen to them, even if you don't agree with them. They're not always nice pills to swallow, and sometimes they might be outright wrong, but at least you listened.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either, but it is what it is when it comes to Persona.
Oh, heck yeah. It is I have a love-hate relationship with the fandom. I met so many wonderful people there, but there are some other people that I have to avoid because, yeah, sometimes it's not that I hate them or anything, no, it's just, we just don't agree or see eye to eye, and you know what? That's okay. You gotta let them be on their merry way and don't stalk them, don't constantly make arguments with them, God, no. Like, you don't even have to block or mute, just move on with your time and you'll be fine. You know, just make your own little fun in the fandom as long as it doesn't hurt others. You know?
Yeah, and that's just the mentality that I've had in terms of Twitter as a whole, where it's like, if I don't like it, I'm just not gonna bother. It's like, why comment? It's like, if I don't like it, I'm just gonna ignore it. Bye, move on. Like, there's no point.
Exactly.
Like, even if it's something directly to me, then it's like, well then, okay, well you made it public, so time to put you in your place then. because you could have just told me in the DMs. We could have settled it like privately.
Yeah.
That's like the type of like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I've said that time and time again. It's like, if you have a problem with me, don't hesitate to send a message over and tell me privately, listen, dude, what you're doing is bad. And then I'll just tell you, well, I appreciate the feedback, but I also gotta let you know that you're probably thinking way over your head here. You're analyzing the situation way too much. Like, it's probably just a simple like thing or whatever, you know. But I appreciate that you told me. You just didn't have like I appreciate that you told me that instead of just out of nowhere be like, this person did this, cancel them. I'm like, are you like, now it just feels like,
are you kidding me?
Exactly. Now it just feels like you're trying to do it for clout. To which I guess I should congratulate you because you did a good job with that. But you just became an asshole. Like, we could have just peacefully resolved it, and then you just decide to do that. It's like, no, you deserve to get your ass in trouble. Like, you deserve, like, you know, an eye for an eye, like that type of thing. It's like, no, you know.
I can totally see where you come from there, because unfortunately some people don't want to talk it out like that. And on the other hand, like, at least they, because it is good to like DM people if you come to a misunderstanding, but you have to realize, hey, it's just a misunderstanding, and hey, just reach for clarification when you DM somebody rather than just accuse them of being like, you suck, you need to stop, I'm annoyed with you because da 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 da, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
maybe that's what you meant, but I don't know. Yeah, almost went for a mouthful there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that when you start to create something that you enjoy creating, and then, you know, you can only go one of two ways. Be an asshole about it and then obviously seek the clout that you want for it, or you know, seek the validation that you want for it but also be humbled. It's like, yeah, okay, thank you for the intention that you're giving for like the videos, things like that. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be an asshole and be like, oh, mine is better than yours. It's like, no. Like I said, when I see a small YouTube creator do something, sometimes I'll look at it and be like, wow, he probably did, like, he looks like he did it better than me. And then I'll obviously tell him like, oh, dude, you did an amazing job, da 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 da. And then I'll obviously put my comment, whatever it is. Like, I try to be critical. I don't try to be an asshole and be like, yeah, you're not gonna make it. It's like, oh, dude, I love what you're doing. Keep at it, you know. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. Did PersonaCon already happen? Like, I don't like.
Oh yeah, PersonaCon happened. It was good, but it wasn't without its own discrepancy at the beginning. I don't know, but otherwise the con itself was really fun. We got we ended up with a few more under new management, I think the word is, which was actually pretty good. They handled everything well. They seemed to have resolved the conflict well. There wasn't much tension as far as I was aware. It was all around really fun, and I was a little shocked because the moment like things happened, they sent me an email like, oh, sorry we were late, but we'd like to accept all your events that you suggested. Even though I was like, oh, here's all these things, you can only pick one. And then they're like, nah, we'll take all three. We really like your ideas. And I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
Okay. I don't know. I was surprised because I had like obviously the Break Free Persona panel, which got some targeted harassment, but you can't exactly blame people because we were trying to be nice, but unfortunately some people ended up being a little like concerned, like, oh boy, are they gonna be all for it, or are they gonna be all against it? But no, we eventually came across like, hey, we're trying to understand both sides and try to come up with a resolution because the accessibility isn't great, but it can be better as long as people aren't asshats about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the guy with the Mario enemy profile pic.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, there was that panel. There was a PowerPoint party. There was just chillest band perspectives, which is kind of like this one, except made into a whole hour. But yeah, otherwise it was really good. Although I do wish, I wish the thing that happened before the whole convention happened didn't happen, but otherwise it was still a really good time, and a lot of people seem to have gotten along there. Aside from, you know, the one person who's like spamming ew vomit emojis as reactions to our panel advertisement for the one panel. But otherwise, it was a good time. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. And not to mention, we just we just had a good time. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Excuse me, voice crack.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm glad that, because this is like the second time you guys are doing. Because I remember the first time, and that was with. I remember back in the day that. We might as well name him, but when Fansite was still around, I remember that was a thing, and it's just crazy to see how it's almost gonna be a year without that person, without that account being around, and I've noticed this firsthand where I'm like, who the fuck was him again? Like I like not like on purpose, like there are moments where I'm just like, who was he again? Because like it was so like after all that happened, and then like the months later where it just died down, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna unfollow the people involved. I'm just not gonna bother here. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna like try and be, whatever, just do myself. And at that point, I started doing YouTube, so I was like, you know what? Screw all these people. I'm just here to be. If somebody needs a helping hand, I'm always here for you. And I just like started doing my own thing. And then like I started being more active with Fidel and his community, because they are an amazing group of people. Like honestly, like if I ever need creative, if I'm ever in a creative burnout, I just go to one of his streams, I just have fun, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I have ideas again, because like it's such an incredible. It's just like Fidel's the type of person that I strive to be as a content creator. Just a genuine, idiotic motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah, because, like you said, shout out to him. He's a really cool person that does bolster a lot of inspiration. Like, I know one time, I guess I'll say it, around the time that whole debacle happened, I was kind of lost. Like, what's the purpose in life? Well, that's hyperbole, but still. And so I actually DM'd him like, hey, I'm just gonna keep this general. And next thing you know, he's like talking to me. I end up getting into the specifics, and he's like, well, that's understandable that you'd be upset by that, but you know what? Don't let it get the best of you. You gotta be there for yourself. You gotta be there for your friends. Be true to yourself, and at the same time, like just. I guess the basics of his message, because if I could pull up his DMs, like, he said it best, like, be a good leader without doing it for clout, and then be humble about it. Like, don't think you're greater than everybody else,
Exactly. Like,
because
in Fidel's case, he's not a leader, he's a brother, and I've said that time and time again to his, like, I've said it to him. I remember, like, on his birthday, I did a video for him, and it's just like, he's not when somebody to you doesn't feel like a leader, with someone like family, that's a leader. Like, that is a true
that's
leader.
fair point.
Like, that's why it's like, because you can have somebody like a leader, and the person who was in charge of the fan site account was like that. Let's be real, he was a leader to many people, and when that happened, they, like you said, they felt lost. But in hindsight, it was just one of those things where it's like, I guess there were some, I don't know how to put it. It's just that if you just show yourself to be more honest, more open about who you are as a person, then people look to that. That's why I love showing my face more, because I remember when I started out Twitter, I'm like, I don't want to show my face. But the moment I met Fidel and I started meeting some of the people that were around his community, though some don't show their face, but like, I have talked to them in the past, like, you already know who they are as a person, so clearly they're not hiding, they don't have some agenda, simply put, like, they're just genuine memesters who just want to have a good time. And so when I started seeing that, I was like, I should just do that. Like, screw it, like, whatever. And then that was also at a point where I was slowly removing myself from Persona 5 and just trying to just talk about other stuff, like, I wanted to talk a little bit more, like, I just wanted to talk about games at that point. And so after that, it's just like this huge, like, shift in perspective. So when the event of whoever was in charge of the fansite account, when that event happened, I was like, Well, because I remember he messaged the person messaged me, and they were like, "Dude, I can't help you anymore." Blah blah blah, things like that. I'm like, dude, whether or not you were actually trying to help me or not, that's none of my concern. I appreciated all of that. You know, like I legit appreciate
Yeah.
like the effort you were going into it. But at the end of the day, you know, I I I don't have an input for what, like, I don't. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not gonna side with anybody. I'm here to do what I said I was gonna do. I'm just here to have fun, you know. Like,
Exactly.
you, whatever you do at the end, that's on you. Like, I'm not being involved with. And that's also the type of person that I've started to develop, where I'm like, if you're in trouble, if you ever need help, I'm always down to help. But there is always an extent to how far I will help you.
Yeah, for sure. Because personally, I don't know. Sometimes, even now, I won't lie to you. I'm still finding my exact way to be as upfront and honest as I can be. I mean, I'm better than I was last year or the year before, but I'm slowly but surely getting there. Like on one hand, I can listen to criticism, but on the other hand, you have to realize that if it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable to the point where you don't even feel comfortable once you get used to it, then you know what? That's okay. Just feel free to drop it and be yourself. Like, I love to show my face more, and I think that it's okay to do that if because if I it's just like you said, it is based on an honest, open personality. You can be vulnerable, and that is okay as long as you're comfortable with it, as long as you have a good time with who you are and are just enjoy life as it goes. That's okay. Just go with the flow, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just,
I don't know.
No, you just said it perfectly fine. You just gotta live life. You
Yeah,
just gotta live
'cause
life
I know
and be who you are.
exactly. Because I know, I can't name exact situations because otherwise, I might get yelled at. But there were some times where I am told I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. I'm too vulnerable. I'm too honest. I'm too nice. I'm too yada yada. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel good to be mean. It doesn't feel good to be closed off. It's one thing to it's one thing to be constantly negative, but it's another thing to not hold off from to hold off from showing like emotions, like talking about certain things. And I guess like not everyone's gonna agree with that, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to realize that. I guess you can tell like I said, I'm still learning this whole thing by piece by piece, but sometimes you just gotta realize that you are you. At the end of the day, your community matters, your family matters, but you have to put yourself before them just a step ahead in order to make sure that you are with the people who legitimately look out for each other. Both you and others who care for you, others who maybe disagree with you, but you don't have any ill will towards. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of fine lines to it, but I'm still learning the whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to example. Truth be told, like I said.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that it's hard because, you know, it is something that just needs more time to develop, more time to acknowledge, and more time to just simply, you know, let it happen, let it like be a part of who you are. And that's the beauty. That's one of the main things that, you know, a lot of people that do just anything in general just have an idea that they want to create and they want to make come true. You know, obviously they need the support of a community of a group of people who want that idea to prosper as well, but it doesn't start unless you take that first step. You know, you're the priority at the end of the day. You have to see it through to the end. You have to be as genuine as possible. You have to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
You just have to be a good person to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't see myself in a million years being comfortable with being some cynical jackass who takes things who sees themselves as something bigger than they are when really, I just want to be someone who's decent to others and still open and honest and like wants to build a community of people who look out for each other rather than a community of people who like don't give a damn, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, I this isn't anything specific, but there are times where sometimes I kind of lose my way. I mean, I'm comfortable with Persona at the moment, but other times I love to expand to other things and it's fun. And I always come back to Persona and you know what, it's okay. I don't know. There's a lot of... I mean, you can be a bunch of sticks at the end of the day, but at some point you have to realize that there is... When you take away all that, there's gotta be just you. What are you? Who are you? Not the games, not onto Kamiki in my case. Who are you? It sounds more like a TED Talk than a podcast. I'm sorry, I'll you go.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's somewhere down the line we get philosophical. That's usually how it goes in these podcasts nowadays. I don't know how we just end up being, we just go that route. Where I'm just like, wait,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
because
nice.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm just like, I don't mean to ramble so much compared to like usual, but this has been good. But not that we have to end it here, it's your call. But overall, I just have a really good time getting to have honest talks with people about Twitch and getting into more anime. Because god damn it, I so need to watch the rest of One Piece. I'm just gonna rewatch episode 1 tonight, into at least episode 5 before I go to bed. Bada beam, bada boom. I'm on a roll finally.
you might have to put a 0 after that 5. Trust me. Trust me. You think you're gonna end at 5, but no, you're gonna reach 50. And
okay.
Before you
all right.
know
10, 50.
Before you know it. Before you know
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah.
That's how it is.
All right. I can't guarantee 10. I can't even guarantee 100. It's gonna be. It might be a lot more than I might think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
All I know is that I gotta wait and see what Persona 5 25th anniversary is gonna be all about. I'm excited for SMT5.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try it. I
yes,
can't wait to try
SMT5.
out that game. Yeah, I
Same.
Wait. And then probably
I'm so hyped.
Either that or probably because I'm thinking by the time October arrives, you know, there's gonna be a Switch OLED. I'm gonna be busy with Metroid Dread. So right now,
my god.
Yeah, like right now I'm busy with a ton of Metroid stuff. I just finished Xenoblade Chronicles, so I can't wait to do a video on that. It was just incredible. It was an amazing experience, honestly. Like I'm excited to make a video on that soon. It was an incredible experience. But I'm not jumping into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet. I'm doing Super Metroid on the SNES Online thing, which honestly, we should just have Virtual Console at this point.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Even though I really only well acquainted with Metroid Prime, I love the Metroid series. Honestly, I mean, obviously, I'm not acquainted with Fusion or the first Metroid, and I'm not good at Super Metroid. I'd like to try it again when I have my brain working, but because it was late at night when I first tried Super Metroid, and I sucked. But you know what? I had a good time with it, and you know what? At least I had a good time with Metroid Prime at the end of the day. So I need to get into that. And then Metroid Dread. That is so a day one cop. I'm damned I haven't even pre-ordered it. God, it's still on my wish list, but there's just so many ambitious things I want to do. Like, obviously I want to get into Shin Megami Tensei. I want to see what the Persona stuff is like. I want to try Metroid Dread. There's so many things I want to do. And I'm sure you got like a whole load of ambitions too. We could like one up each other on who has more ambitions.
Yeah,
ideas in general.
I'm just happy that, first of all, like, this is how I feel right now in terms of gaming, and I think this is how we're gonna close it. Ever since Kazuya was shown in Smash, I was just like, yes, it's about time. Like, I love Tekken. Tekken's my favorite fighting game of all time. Freaking love that series. I was so happy when Smash.
Congrats!
I'm so happy that I finished Xenoblade Chronicles, like the Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I'm so happy that Pyra and Mithra were the reasons why I'm like, yeah, I should try it out. I should try out the series. And it's just like, I'm just happy that I've been trying out so many different series lately. And I haven't even been able to play like games like I still haven't played Resident Evil Village. I still haven't played Persona 5 Strikers. I still haven't played Nier Replicant. I still haven't played any of the games that actually released, and I'm just like, I just want to play like after like I've said, like after Xenoblade 1, after I finish that, I'm playing Super Metroid, so I can like at least do as much as I can of Metroid. I might have to revisit Other M, because I remember that was my first Metroid, like 2D style Metroid, because obviously the Prime games were my first, but I also got to finish those as well. And then, but after I beat Super Metroid, I'm going straight to Dragon Quest 11, because I also want to try out the Dragon Quest series, and I want to see how good of a game I want to see how good of a game that one was as well.
I played the first few bits, and I remember I need to go play Dragon Quest 11, because it's another one that's pretty on like the top nearest 5 of my backlog that I want to get done. And from what I remember, it was pretty fun. Like, the voice acting was pretty top notch. It was really fun. I just struggled, so it was like, okay, I better come back to this later. Then shit happened, but I remember I'm always thinking like, I wanted to go back to this. I want to go back to this, but the thing is, I need to just do it. You know?
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
This podcast has been a learning experience for me.
Yeah, I'm really glad. Really glad. But unfortunately, the learning experience has to come to an end. So
that's fair. That's fair.
It really is fair. You know. So before we end, do you have any last words? Do you wanna do a quick second of promoting your stuff? I mean, either way, your stuff will be in the link in the description down below. But if you want to take a moment to do that, by all means, go ahead.
I guess, first of all, just real quick, check out my Twitch and Twitter. Occasionally I do archive of our own stuff, but that'll be for a while. That won't be for a while. But overall, in conclusion, guys, have fun, pursue things, just go head first into a whole lot of stuff you're really curious, you're even just curious about. And this has been the Cafe Gracia podcast.
Yeah. Nah, I love it. I love how you ended it there. All right. So as for me, you know how I like to end my stuff. Keep being awesome, you guys. Keep spreading love and kindness to the world. I know you guys can, and I know we can as well. Let's make sure to do at least one act of kindness to somebody out there that really needs it in these times, and just keep improving yourselves each and every day. I say this now in all of my videos. Keep improving yourselves by 1%. I read that in a book somewhere. I don't remember when, but someday soon I will remember where I found it from. But keep improving yourselves by 1%, and just keep being yourselves, and know that I love you guys forever and always to 120. And I hope to see you all in that next fantastic, brilliant, shine. Oh wait, before we do, go buy my mugs. The link in the description down below.
Buy the mugs, baby!
Yeah. Also do that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, love you guys forever and always to 120. And see you all in the next amazing, spectacular, marvelous, brilliant, shining, and sexy video. Bye-bye now.
Take care.